Right. Are we good to start? My screen is visible. Okay. Okay then. So yesterday we were discussing about the compile time polymorphism, which is also called as method overloading. Method overloading topic has been completed. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about the runtime polymorphism, which is called as method overriding. Okay. So method overloading, to be honest, method overloading is not so confusing. It is actually easy topic, but method overriding you need to take some, some care. Okay, you need to take some care to do what? To do method to achieve runtime polymorphism or method overriding, right? So we have discussed something. If I want you to give you a quick recap, we have discussed about method signature. Okay, and we have seen what is method overloading. Okay, so remember one thing, method overloading happens within the same class. Inside one class you have multiple methods with the same name but different in parameters, but it is always in the same class. All the methods are placed inside the same class. Okay, so that is called as method overloading, right? If you have same method name but different in parameters, they are called as overloaded methods. And we have seen case 1, and there are 6 cases that we have seen: case 2, case 3, right, case 4. So many combination of cases that we have seen: ambiguity case, right, and unresolved cases. Totally we have seen 6 cases. Yes or no? We have seen 6 cases, and I am damn sure that you will be able to answer any kind of interview question on top of method overloading if you have understood these 6 cases, right? Now the concept is the method overloading, the runtime polymorphism. What is it? Runtime polymorphism. Okay, why it is called as runtime polymorphism, we will understand that later. But so runtime polymorphism is also called as the method overriding. Firstly, we will understand what is method overriding, then we will get some insights about what the runtime polymorphism, right? So now the question is, what is method overriding? A simple definition I am going to give, right? A simple definition: if a child class has the same method name, as the same method, the child class has the same method as declared in the parent class, okay, it is called as method overriding in Java. Very simple definition, is very simple. If you have a child class, if you have a method, okay, if a child class has the same method as declared in the parent class, same method, just focus here, same method. Okay, so now what I am using here, if you see, I am using a child class, I am also using a parent class. So in order to achieve method overloading, there should be a relationship between two classes. First point to be noted. Okay, so unlike in method overloading, in the method overloading, it is not the actual case. Within the same class, you place some methods. They have the same name, but they differ in parameters. Right? Ultimately, method overloading happens inside the same class. Yes or no? Same class you are placing methods, and these methods are found to be overloaded when they are with the same name but different parameters. But method overriding is not like that. To achieve method overriding, there should be a relationship between two classes. First point. For example, if I have class here, if I have class parent, right? If I have class child, right? I cannot achieve method overloading here. I cannot achieve method overloading. So both are independent classes. I have two classes, of course, but both are independent. Even though the names are child, names are parent, but actually there is no relationship here, guys. Is there any relationship here? There is no relationship. Okay, there is no relationship. And I want to place a method like public void method 1. Okay, so I want to place a method here like public void method 1, right? So if I ask you about, if I ask you to define about this particular classes, what you would say? You would say, sir, I can see one parent class. I can see a class. The name of the class is parent. I can see another class. The name of the class is child. Each and every class has one method, and the name of the method is someone. And the child class has the name of the method is someone. Right? So you cannot even come to a conclusion that there is something called as method overriding. The moment I use extends keyword, okay, now focus on this code. Let me take this code in the paint screen. Okay, this is the paint screen. Okay, so the moment when I don't use extends keywords, there is no issues. When I don't use extends keyword, just think that there is no extends keyword. Okay, when I don't use extends keyword, these both classes are independent classes, right? Let me keep this here. Okay, just imagine that if I am not using any extends keyword, I can say that I have two classes. The two independent classes I have. Okay, I can say that I have two independent classes. Okay, so independent classes, they can be represented like this in the diagrammatic form. There is a parent class. I mean, not a parent class. The name of the class itself is parent. The name of the class itself is child. Two classes are there. Two classes are completely independent to each other. Okay. The moment I use extends keyword, we know what will happen. Okay. There will be a relationship between the child class and the parent class. Right? Because of this extends keyword, parent-child relationship. Right? So what is this? Because of this extends keyword, there is a relationship between these two classes. Okay, when there is a relationship between two classes, okay, you notice one thing. There are two methods. One method is in the child class, second method is in the parent class. Just try to focus this method as well as this method together. Don't you think that both this method, the method that is in the child class as well as the method that is in the parent class, they have what? They are having the same method name. Method name is same. Return type is also same. Okay. Access modifier is also same. Okay. So when this is the case, these two methods are called as overriding methods. What is it? So these are the method that is in the parent class is called as overridden method. Overridden. Okay, the method that is inside the child class is called as what? Overriding method. Right? What is the definition that I have just said? Go back to the definition. If a child class has the same method, yes, if the child class has the same method as the parent class, okay? The child class has the same method as declared in the parent class, it is called as method overriding in Java. It means the child class method is a overriding method. Why overriding method? Because both the method names are same, parameters are also same, return type is also same, access modifier is also same. Everything should be same here. Okay, when you have a method signature, okay, method signature, this part talks about method signature, right? This part talks about method signature. Method signature should be same. Right, return type should also be same, and the access modifier should also be same. There are some cases you can do some manipulations, but for now, when you find a method in the parent class or in the child class, if they are same in the nature in the sense same method name, same number of parameters, same return type, same access modifier, right? The child class method is called as what? The overriding method, and the parent class method is called as what? The overridden method. This is called as what? This is called as method overriding in Java. Okay, when I ask you what is a method overriding, your answer should be very simple. If a class has the child class has the same method as declared in the parent class, it is called as method overriding in Java. Making sense, everyone? Or understanding this? Right? Now the next question comes. Why do we need, what is the purpose? Okay, what is the actual usage of this method overriding? That could be the question that is tickling in your mind. For that I want to take another example. Okay, let me remove all this, remove everything. Okay, real time example I want to take. Okay, we have, I mean, everyone as parents, right? Parent. Okay, and children, parent and children. What parents they usually do? Okay, they make money, property, right? Public, void, property. They make money, money, lot of property they make, right? The property can be in the form of money, right? Plus in the form of property can be in the form of what, physical things, right? Such as land. You can say, you can also say anything like building, whatever it is, or electronic things, or vehicles. So many things are involved, okay, when you talk about property. But they make property, okay. And the moment that this there is a relationship between this child class and the parent class, of course, of course, when you look at this relationship, okay, child has all rights to what, all rights to inherit this property, because parents are working hard for their children, yes or no? They usually work hard for what? Okay, they usually work hard for their own children. Do they work hard for the other children? No, they actually work hard for their own children. Okay, that is what the relationship is between the parent and the child, right? So property is involved. Along with the property, okay, what, they might be having a kind of what, marriage. Okay, so they want you to enjoy this property, enjoy the property, okay, that is generated by them, okay, that is created by them. At the same time, they want you to get married. Okay, what they say, my dear child, okay, I want you to get married, and the marriage should be what, arranged marriage, right? You child is extending to parent, okay. Child has every right to enjoy this property method, right? The child has to obey this marriage method, yes or no? Making sense? Okay, property method over. Some children are very obedient to their parents. Whatever the parents say, they respect. Okay, let me take another class here. Class test. Okay, inside this, I'm sorry guys, this is a test class. Okay, inside this test class, I am taking a main method. Okay, main method, I have main method. Focus here. Okay, I want to decrease the size. Okay, now it is perfect, right? See, parent class has two methods, and child is extending to parent. Okay, if I ask you one question, how many methods are there inside the child class? Okay, child is extending to parents. It means all these two methods that the parent class is possessing can be inherited by the child. Yes or no? Child has every right to. Okay, if you create an object for the child class, when an object is created for the child class, okay, child obj equal to new child. Okay, object has been created for the child class. Okay, this object reference, okay, child has every right to access property that is created by the parent, properties that is amassed by the parent, right? So that what child can do, obj dot, it can call the property method, because it has every right to access this method. How the rights has been given to the child class? Because it is extending to parent. The moment you use extends keyword, okay, you get access to all these properties. Okay, first what will happen, guys? Object is created for the child. Okay, reference variable is of what type? I am calling obj dot property. Obj is of what type? Obj is of child type. Okay, now the JVM thread is going to check. Is there any property method? Inside the child class? Is there any property method inside the child class? No, there is no property method inside the child class. Okay, then it will not vary. Of course, if it is not there, let us check in the parent class. By using this extends keyword, it will jump to the parent class and will check, is there any property method inside the parent class? Yes, there is a property method. Okay, this gets executed, right? Property, very happily the child is enjoying the the property that was okay, I need to take it as public. Okay, so let me take it as driver class. Okay, now let me run this. This is saving issue, nothing else. Okay, money plus physical things. Okay, child is enjoying the property that was generated by the parent. Okay, now child is very obedient. Okay, child wants to access to this marriage method, so that child is very obedient to the parent. So child also want to, along with the property, it also wants to access this marriage method, so that parents can make arranged marriage. Okay, child is very happy. Obj dot marriage, obj dot marriage. Okay, now again obj dot I'm calling a marriage method on top of obj reference. Just try to focus obj is of what type? Child type. Obj is of what type? Child type. Okay, do not focus here. This is a runtime polymorphism. Do not focus here. Focus here. Focus to the left hand side. Focus to the left hand side. Okay, firstly what will happen? It will check, is there any marriage method? Is there any marriage method inside the child class? Okay, there is no marriage method. Okay, by using this extends keyword, okay, it will get access to this marriage method. Then the logic inside this marriage method is going to get executed. Sir, we know all these things. Why there is a repetition now? Okay, now some children, okay, they don't listen to their parents. They want property. Property they want to enjoy. They want to enjoy the property nicely. But when it comes to marriage, they want to do marriage according to the decision. Some children are like, I want love marriage. I don't like marriage. I don't want to obey the parents. I want love marriage. I want to implement my own logic. Right? If that is the case, if you find any method, okay, that is not fulfilling your status in an easy relationship. Okay, these two classes are related to each other, right? And you want to, if you call marriage matter, arranged marriage is happening, but the child is not willing to do the arranged marriage. Child is willing to do the love marriage. Okay, what it can do, it has to do something so that this method will not be called. Okay, something needs to be done in the child class so that this method will not be called. What is that something? Overriding is that something. When you copy and paste the same method and you just change the logic, okay, now it is like the control will not be transferred to the parent class to execute this marriage method. Instead, this method becomes overridden method, and this method becomes overriding method. This logic gets executed. In other words, I can say that if you do not like the parent class method implementation, okay, there is a method in the parent class. The name of the method is marriage. You don't like this method implementation because the logic is something that is against you. If you find that the logic is against you or against the programming language, or if you want to implement the own logic, if you want to implement your own logic, you can use the concept of what? Overriding in Java. Overriding means I do not want to use the parent class logic. I want my own logic. I want to do what? I want my own logic. So when you want to give that implementation, that can be implemented by using this overriding concept. Okay, copy the method and paste it here. Just relate the logic. If I now run this code for the first obj.property, this get executed. Money plus physical things. Now see the logic. Now the logic of the child class method is getting executed. Making sense? Likewise, see, if I don't like, even some children are like, they do not want to touch their parents' property. They will make their own property. There are such children. Okay, they won't touch their parents' property. Those children are actually, they are really great actually. They do not want to utilize their parents' money. They do not want to waste their parents' money. Instead, what they do, they make their own money. Okay, if that is the case, override this. Override this. If you do not like to enjoy the parent class method, if you do not like to enjoy the parent class method, right? If you don't like the implementation of the parent class method, you do what? You just override, and you can define your own logic inside this method. My money. Right? Now, if I ask you one question, okay, if I ask you one question, okay, see, if I ask you one question, How many methods are, what are the methods that are overridden methods and what are the methods that are overriding methods? If I ask you this question, you should be in a position to answer. Okay, you should find how many classes are there. There are 3 classes here. Okay, forget about the classes, you should find how many classes are in a relationship. Okay, there are 2 classes in a relationship. One is parent class and second one is child class. Good. So far good. There are 2 classes in a relationship. Okay, so you need to find in these 2 classes, in the parent class, in the child class, is there any method that are similar to each other? Yes, property method is same as the property method inside the child class, and the marriage method is same as the marriage method inside the child class. But internal logic is different. Logic is different. Okay, when I ask you this question, how many methods are, I mean, what are the methods that are overridden method? What are the methods are overriding methods? You should say, you should in a position to say, all the parent class methods, all these 2 methods are overridden methods. Right? This is overridden. This is overridden. And all the child class methods are what? Overriding methods. Overriding. Overriding. Making sense? Understood? Firstly, have you understood the difference between overridden method and the overriding methods, and why we require to go for method overriding? Are we good so far? Right? Now I can give you some more meaningful theory. Usage of Java method overriding. Okay, I can say that method overriding, excuse me, method overriding is used to provide the specific implementation of a method which is already provided by its parent class or superclass or base class. Okay, method overriding is used for runtime polymorphism. We will see what is runtime polymorphism. Now we need to find the rules to achieve. What are the rules to achieve method overriding? What are the rules that we have that we need to focus on to achieve what? To achieve method overriding. Okay, what is the rule number 1? Okay, rule number 1 is the method name must be same as the method name in the, okay, the method name of the child class must be same as the method name of the parent class. Yes or no? See, method name of the child class, marriage method, return type, and access modifier is same as the method name of the parent class. Internal logic is different. Okay. So I can say that the child class method is called as overriding method and the parent class method is called as overridden method. Right? That is what I said, right? Child class method, parent class method is overridden method. Child class method is what? Overriding method. Okay, second thing. This is the first point. Okay, let me keep it as first point. Second point. So these are the usages we are talking about. Okay, we will see a lot of examples on this. Don't worry. Okay, now rules to achieve. Okay, this is the first rule, and we also have the second rule. Second rule says the method parameter of the child class must be same as the method parameter of the parent class. Overall, the method signature must be same. What is a method signature? I already said you, right? What is a method signature? Method signature is what? Okay, this part is called method signature. This part is called as what? Method signature. Okay, signature should be same. Don't you think that both the signature are same? Number of parameters, no parameters in the parent class method, and we are not passing any parameters in the child class method as well. So directly I can say that method signature must be, we should ensure that the method signature should be same. But for overloading, method signature should be different, but within the same class. The third rule, very important rule. Okay, there must be an is a relationship between these two methods. I'm sorry, two classes. Or I can say that there must be an is-a-relationship. Right? So this is all about method overriding. Are we done with method overriding? No, we aren't done yet. We have just started, and we are going to see a lot of beautiful examples on this. Okay, stay focused. Now you see, I will give you the real-time example. Where is it? 1 minute. Okay, this is our example. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. Let me also remove this. Here the real-time example, focus here. Okay, how many classes I have? I have parent class as well as I have child class. Okay, I have two classes here. Okay, now let us understand that these two classes are independent. Totally I have three classes along with the main class. Okay, I am creating child obj equal to new child. Okay, now I want to print something. Okay, I want to print this reference variable. I want to print the value of this reference variable obj. I'm sorry, obj. Have you ever wondered, we will get some values, we will get some random value. This is the value that we are getting. When you look at this value, first three words are talking about the package, right? Okay, and we have something like, the class name @ symbol followed by hexadecimal number. What is happening internally? I have already taught you about this topic. Whenever you are trying to print the reference variable, it is going to print what? ToString method will be called, yes or no? What happens? ToString method will be called. Okay, but we haven't specified any method like toString here, right? What exactly happening inside? Okay, let me copy this code, let me paste it here. Okay, now focus here. So we have, let me increase the font, 14 or 16. Okay, so we have two classes, we have three classes. Okay, all the three classes are independent classes. Okay, and we are doing, we have given only two instructions here. One is the object creation, and second one is we are trying to print the reference variable of this object. Okay, what is happening internally when you give this code to compiler? A compiler take this code and perform the compilation. What compiler is going to do, guys? Okay, compiler is going to do what? It is going to add this extends keyword, extends object, because all classes independent, yes or no? Okay, every class will get extended to object class, extends object, and driver class will also what? It will also extend to object class. Right? By looking at this object class extension, okay, I can do it like this now. Okay, So object class is the mother of or the super class of all these three classes, right? So how many classes do we have here? We have a class, name of the class is parent, and another name of the class is child, and another name of the class is driver. Three classes, right? Which is the parent. And we do have what? We do have a child class, and we also have what? We also have what? Driver class, right? And so this is how it could be imagined. All these three children, all these three classes are extending to one universal class or one common class, which is object class. Okay, this is talking about hierarchical inheritance. Okay, see guys, now what I am doing here, I am creating object for the child class. Object has been created for the child class. So this is talking about the hierarchy. Okay, let us also imagine about the object creation. Object is created for which class? For the child class. What is the reference variable? Obj. What is the reference variable? Obj, right? And we are calling what? We are trying to print this reference variable. We are trying to do what? We are trying to print this obj itself, right? Okay, when you are trying to print this obj internally, we have discussed this topic already. Internally, this statement will be redefined like obj dot toString. Internally, JVM is going to call the toString method. Which method? ToString method. We have discussed this already. I don't think you remember this or not. But if you haven't forgotten this, I'm happy. So internally, ToString method will be called. Okay. Firstly, it will check. Okay, the type of this obj. What is the type of this obj? Child class. It will check, is there any toString method inside the child class? Okay, the main thread will be created. These are the common things that we need to focus on. Main thread gets created. Okay, first statement is object creation. Because of this has happened. The second instruction is you are trying to print the reference variable of the object. Okay, internally obj or toString will be called. Okay, toString will be called. Okay, toString, is there any toString method in child class? If we look for the toString method inside the child class, of course there is no toString method inside the child class. Then the control will jump to what? Object class, extends object. It will try to check, is there any toString method in the parent class, object class? Yes, there is a toString method in the object class that is going to give the output like the way that we have got just now. So parent class toString method is getting executed here. Okay, when I run this code, because the toString method is being called from the object class. Okay, so the output is like this. This is we are calling the object class, and object class is returning this value. So that's why we are getting this in the console. Now see what I am going to do now. Okay, now what can we do? How can we manipulate? How can we stop? How can we override the object class toString method? What could be performed here? Now you see, same code I'm taking the same code. Okay, now I am overriding the toString method of the object class. I don't override. Firstly, the control will come here. It will check for toString method. Then it will extend to object class. In the object class, the logic inside the object class toString method is going to get executed. Now what will happen? You see, I want to override. Okay, public string toString. Okay, this is how the prototype of toString method. I want to return a string because it is a string now. So I want to return a string. Return, I have successfully done the overriding. Okay, now if you see, if I execute this code, okay, I get this one, which means firstly the control will try to fetch for obj dot toString method. Okay, this is the actual call. Okay, but this obj is of what type? Child type. It will check, is there any method by the name of toString? Yes, there is a method by the name of toString which is already overridden by us. If you remove this method, if you completely remove this method, what happens? If you completely remove this method, the object class toString method get executed. if when you place this method, you are stopping the control in such a way that it is not going to look for the object class. Okay, you are overriding it. You are not liking, if you don't like the implementation of the parent class logic, right, you will override. That's it, as simple as that. Right, in the object class there are 11 more methods. Okay, if you don't like those 11 more methods, you can override. You can override in such a way that you can give the meaningful message. This is something, to just to check if this method is getting executed or not. You can also give a meaningful message displayed in the console, or you can also write a meaningful logic in such a way that, okay, it becomes a useful logic. Right, now you see, I am going to do small changes. Extends parent. Okay, now I am placing the toString method here. I am doing what? I am placing the toString method here. Okay, if you talk about the relationship now, okay, object has been created for the child class, and I want to print obj. Obj means internally obj dot toString method will be called. Right, so firstly the main thread will go to find for the toString method in the child class. Is there any toString method in the child class? No, there is no toString method in the child class. Then it will control will jump to look for the toString method in the parent class. Yes, there is a toString method in the parent class, so this will get executed. Okay, even if you remove this, now what will happen? Now we will get the actual toString method in the console. Now this is what we are getting. Why we are getting this as an output? Okay, control will see, main thread is going to check, is there any toString method in the child class? No, there is no toString method in the child class. Okay, let us go to the parent class. Is there any toString method in the parent class? Of course, there is no toString method in the parent class. Okay, let us jump to the parent class. What is the parent class of a class that you when you don't define extends keyword? Object class is going to the parent class. It will check in the object class, is there any toString method in the object class? Yes, there is a toString method. Okay, let us execute that logic. So this is the output. Right, sometimes I can do like this. Okay, so sometimes I can keep a logic in the parent and keep the logic in the child. Okay, so what I am saying, I have successfully done the overriding from child, from parent. Now you see the importance. Okay, now you see, when I create object for the parent obj equal to new parent, okay, obj dot toString I want to call. Okay, let me, instead of doing this, let me keep the statement simple, a. Okay, and let me keep this statement very simple, b. Okay, what do you think the output is going to be when I call toString method? You are supposed to look for two things here. Okay, you are supposed to look for two things here. Firstly, try to find what? Firstly, try to find obj is of what type? Obj is of parent type. Parent type. And object is created for what? Object is created for the parent. Okay, go to the parent class directly and check, is there any toString method inside the parent class? Yes, there is a toString method inside the parent class. So output is here. Output is a what? Okay, I want to sorry, I should print this, right? obj dot toString. Okay, output is here. Okay, when I do child, now what happens? It will try to identify for the toString method, okay, inside the child class. Okay, but it will try to see this, I mean, in the right hand side, runtime is also child. Okay, directly it will jump to the child class and see it, is there any toString method inside the child class? Yes, there is a toString method in the child class, so output is going to be B. Right, so you don't have any doubt with this. Parent obj equal to new parent. When I do this, you can clearly say the output is going to be A. because the runtime object is parent. Okay, parent class toString method will get executed. Yes or no? Right? Likewise, when I do child, okay, let me run this. Yeah. Likewise, when I do child obj equal to new child. Okay, no issues. So directly jump to the child class and see, is there any toString method? Yes, there is a toString method here. Okay, runtime object is B. Then B. My question is, when I do upcasting, when I create an object reference for the parent class, but object is being created for the child class, I'm keeping the object reference obj to the, I'm holding the child class object to the parent class object reference. Parent equal to new child. What does it mean, upcasting? When I do this, which toString method will be called? That could be your interview question. When I do this, which toString method will be called? Okay, you should focus on only one thing here. What is that? Look for which class the object is created. The object is created for which class? The object is created for the child class. Child class toString method will be called, even though the reference is of parent type. Let me repeat it. Okay, so when you do this, parent class object reference your variable, okay, reference variable is of parent type, but object is created for the child type. Okay, so you may be in a confusion. Okay, so there are toString method inside the child class as well as inside the parent class. Which one will be called? Okay, just always look at the right hand side. Runtime, this part is called as runtime, this part is called as compile time. Okay, let's look at the runtime. The runtime polymorph, this is called runtime. Runtime object, object is of what? Child type. Okay, child class toString method will get executed. Right, you can also think like this. Okay, just focus here. Okay, if you find any any class, and if you find the overloading concept, just think that right hand side, I mean the RHS side method is going to get executed. Okay, what if I don't have any method in this RHS? What if I remove this? toString method is removed in RHS. Child class has no toString method now. Right, do you think that the parent class toString method will get executed in this case? In this case, do you think? See, child is extending parent. Now this time, okay, if there is method, if there is any method here, it will be given priority. If there is no method here, then parent class method will get executed, because obviously it is extending to parent class, right? Okay, let me take it as B. Okay, sometimes the question can be like, okay, I have the overridden method, and I also have the overriding method. Let me take another method like public void some specific methods. This method is specific to A, right? And this method is this M2. This method is specific to B. Right, now you focus here. toString method is common to parent and toString method is common to child. Okay, when I use this, when I create object in this way, in the upcasting way, don't get any confused. Okay, try to find if there are any common methods. Okay, try to find if there are any common methods between parent and child. How many common methods are there? This is one common method, and these two are common. Okay, this is overridden method and this is overriding method. Yes or no? This is overridden, this is overriding. Right? So you can access to the common method obj dot toString. Okay, when you call toString method, it is a common to child class as well as parent class. When you find common methods, so you can also call it as the overriding method. Okay, the right hand side, okay, look at the object has been created for child. So in the child class, that common method will be given priority, so output is going to be B. Right, I am not supposed to do this, I should print this. Okay, I should keep this inside this println string because it is returning string, no? That's it. Okay, now the output is going to be what? B. Okay, by this object reference, okay, when I try to access toString, it will try to see the runtime object. Runtime object is child. Okay, no issues. You're giving an instruction that execute the method that is placed inside the child class. You should look at this part. For overloading, you should always look at this part. For overriding, you should always look at this part. Overriding. Right. Okay, this method will get executed. Right? Like this, when I use obj dot m1. M1 is a common method between two classes. No, M1 is specific to parent class. There is no M1 method inside the child class. So there is no issues here. There is no confusion here. So output is specific to A. B and specific to A, because B is this is giving B. Okay, and this is giving A. Okay. When I try to access a method obj.m2, you will get an error. Okay, with the upcasting, okay, upcasting we have already discussed, keeping the child class object to the parent reference. With the upcasting, you can access to the common method. Okay, for the common method, the runtime object will be given priority. So answer is P. ToString method is what? ToString method is there inside child class as well as parent class. Don't get any confusion. Look at the runtime object. Look at the right hand side. Right hand side is of child type. Okay, that ToString method get executed. Very straightforward. Right? And you can access the specific method of the parent class. Y to M1 you can access, but you cannot access the specific method of the child class. You can access the specific method of the parent class, not the child class. That's why when I call M2, you are getting an error. See, there is a line here. Okay, if I run this code, no matter if I try to execute this, you will get an error, unresolved compilation problem. The method M2 is undefined. It says it cannot see the method M2. This method M2 is, the JVM is blind to this method M2 because of the way the object is created. Are you getting this? So we are discussing about the overriding concept, and also we are also discussing what are the advantages that we have with this statement. Okay, so with this statement, the OB, by using obj reference, you are able to call toString, but compiler is going to see there are two toString methods. One is inside the child class and the second one is inside the parent class. Which one needs to be called? Okay, compiler is going to take a resolution in such a way that the resolution is of what type? Runtime polymorphism resolution. It will see object is created for the child. Let me call the child class toString method. So that's why the output has been B. Okay, next call is obj.m1. When I do obj.m1, it is very specific. It will check. Okay, m1 method is in the parent. Okay, so parent it is very specific. Right, obj.m2. Okay, child class specific method cannot be called. You can call overriding method. You can call the specific method of the parent class, but you cannot call the specific method of the child class when you do the object creation like this, because method resolution happens in the runtime. Okay, this becomes less visible. We'll see a few more examples to understand this better. Okay, let me include this example in the notes. Okay, example. Right. So one more example I want to take. Okay, this time the name of the example is bike. So usually what happens when I bought my first bike, okay, my first bike is Hero Honda Passion. My name of the first bike is Hero Honda Passion. Okay, Passion. Just I'm taking Passion, Hero Passion. Okay, Hero Passion is a what? Hero Passion is a bike, right? I cannot use ECA, so in Java you use extends keyword. Hero Passion is a bike. Okay, I use extends keyword. Okay, so all the bike is common to Hero Honda, and there are Apache. So many bikes are there. Okay, the main purpose of bike is to do what? Public void sound. Okay, normal sound. Normal sound. Right? So there are two classes. These two classes are a relationship. Okay, it is satisfying the rule. Okay, rule. When you go back and see the rules here, okay, the rules are very specific. There must be is a relationship. To even think about inheritance, there must be is a relationship. Of course, there is a relationship between these two classes. Okay, I bought bike, and I'm okay. I'm okay with what? A public void color. Okay, system.out.println red color. Okay, red and black in combination. Okay, and sound, normal sound. Okay, so I purchased. I traveled in my bike for 1 year. For the 1 year, okay, when I look at the color, let me create an object for this. Okay, Hero Honda obj equal to new Hero Honda. Sorry, Hero Passion. Okay, so I purchased a bike and I'm very happy with my bike color. Okay, I am riding my bike very happily. Okay, so when I look at the color, obj.color. Okay, so color is what? Red color. Okay, when I sound, the sound of the bike, okay, normal bike sound, no fancy sound. Okay, after 1 year, okay, I want to do some modifications on my bike. I don't like my bike color, and I also got irritated with the sound of the bike. Even the bike sounds, the sound of the bike is very smooth and very concise. It is up to the normal decibels level, normal sound level, allotted sound level. But what I did some modification. Okay, what I did, I don't like this color. Okay, I have defined my own color. I changed the red color to yellow color because I don't like it. I don't like the actual bike class implementation kernel. So I defined my own color. I don't like this logic. I defined my own logic. Just try to imagine the understanding between the real-time entity and the Java. In Java, if you don't like the parent class logic, you can override. Same thing I am saying in a different way. That's it. Okay. So I can say that this method has been overridden. This method become overridden because I am overriding that method. Okay. The moment I add this method, okay, previously the color was red color. Now, after the overriding, the color becomes yellow color. Okay, I'm happy with the color, but I'm not happy with the sound. My bike should make some noise. I want some fancy sound. I want some what? I want some fancy sound. Normal sound, I'm not happy with your normal sound. Police will catch me if I do fancy, that is secondary, but I want fancy sound. Okay, now on this, previously, before overriding, this logic is getting implemented. Before overriding. After overriding, the child class logic is getting implemented. Okay, why this is happening? When you don't like the implementation of the parent class method, you can define your own methods in such a way that, okay, the the concept of overriding can be achieved just by using the same method name, same return type, and same access modifier and a different logic. When I ask you a simple question, how many methods are overridden and how many methods are overriding, you can say that these two methods are overridden methods because in the child class the same methods are there but with different implementation. That's why in child class they are called as overriding methods. Can we say that these two are overridden and these two are overriding, right? So specifically when I talk about Hero Honda obj Hero Passion obj Hero Passion, I can get access to these methods. But if I want to do this bike obj new bike, if I run this code, I will get access to the parent class method, red color, normal sound. Parent class implementation logic will be executed because I'm very specific with the object creation, bike. Very specific with the object creation, right? So now you see public void violation Okay? When I do any kind of violation, this violation has to be applicable, okay, for the parent class as well as for the child class. Violation is what? Without riding a bike without element, or riding the bike without license. These are the violations. These are the actual violations, right? When I want to be very specific, at any point of time, this method needs to be executed. What is the case if I want to execute this method at any point of time? Okay, you can create object in many ways, but you should get access to this violation method. How can we done that? Can we do, if you do overriding, it cannot happen. Okay, I am supposed to create the object in such a way that if I do bike, I have access to violation. If I do hero passion, and what is the name of the class? Hero passion. Okay, hero passion and hero passion, right? Still I get access to the violation. Obj dot violation. 5,000 rupees, right? When I do bike hero passion parent object reference to child, still I should be able to get access to the violation. 5,000 rupees fine. Okay, when you are creating an object in this way, it means that you will be having one method, okay, that should always get access. Okay, this method needs to be accessed at any point of time, even no matter how the object is getting created, you always have access to this method. No matter how the object is getting created, you have always access to this violation method. Okay, but when you still want to define your own logic, when you still want to define what your own logic, what is your own logic? You want to escape this violation. Okay, you want to escape this violation. When you do this overriding, okay, in this way you will avoid this logic. You will avoid executing this logic. Instance, you can define your own logic. 100 rupees fine. 100 rupees fine. You will bargain and you make it as 100 rupees fine. Okay, I hope my voice is clear and my screen is visible. Confirm please. Okay. Okay, see, now are you understanding the importance of overriding? Okay, so now I have a bike class and I have hero passion class. Okay, if I don't like any logic in the parent class, I can define my own logic, so that so in this way, to define my own logic, I need to take help of overriding. Again, what is overriding? Writing the same method name, same parameter, same return type inside the child class, so that the parent class methods will be overridden. What does it mean? You can avoid executing the parent class method by overriding. So this is the parent class method. So you can avoid this by just doing the overriding, right? So there is one, we have so many case in in defining this overriding. The real-time examples, we can play with many test cases. Okay, I want to introduce one specific test cases. It is very important. Okay, now you see guys, I am stressing about this. I am stressing about what? The method name should be same, the return type should also be same, and the access modifier should also be same. So this is what I have been saying, right? Both should be same. Everything should be same. But in real time, that is not the case. This is valid. Okay, these cases are valid till Java 1.4. Let me repeat. Till Java 1.4, the definition of overriding is what? Same method name, same parameter, same return type, and same access modifier. From Java 1.5, okay, the definition of method overriding has been changed. Let me repeat this. Let me take this example. Okay. Please be informed that till Java 1.4, the definition of method overriding is same as we have discussed. But from Java 1.5, there is a little change. I'll introduce you only one change today. Okay, now you see this. Okay, now I am taking the return type as object type here. Okay, return type I am taking it as object. Since I am taking it as object type, I need to return something of object. Return null I am doing. Okay, now you see it is giving me an error because there is a violation here. It says color is same, but the return type is different, object, and here it says void. It says, okay, can you see this red color line under this void? It means there is a compilation. In editors, you can see the compilation errors directly. You do not have even to perform compilation. Directly it will show. If there is any compilation error, you will get this get those errors, and you see something, a kind of line under that particular error. Here it is object is. Now what I am doing, string new, or I can say, okay, what has just happened? Now you see, now my question cat, okay, this is one of the interview questions. Okay, now you see question number one. Question number one. Okay, I will ask you a small question. Of course, I will ask you and I will only answer. The question number one is like, how many classes are there? Okay, blindly you will say we have two classes. Just look at this and say we have two classes, bike class and hero Honda passion class. From this context, we have only two classes. Of course, in the program we have three classes. Main class is also involved. I am not talking about that. From this context, we have two classes. Second question: is there any relationship between two classes? Of course, there is a relationship. Okay, bike is a parent. Bike is a parent. Okay, and hero Honda passion. Actually, I want to shortcut this word. That's why I said hero passion. Hero passion is a child. Okay, because of this extends keyword, a relationship is happening. The third question: okay, are these methods or overriding methods? Okay, what did I just say? In order to say that the method is overriding or when method is overridden, I said name of the method has to be same. This is valid. Rule number one is valid. Return type should also be same. Okay, there is a violation here. Here it is object, here it is string. There is a violation. There is a little violation here. Okay, this part is some violation. Then what is it? What is the third one? Access modifier should be same. Same, no violation. Okay, and we are thinking that this middle part is violation. Now focus, guys. Okay, when you talk about parent-child relationship, okay, in the parent class, what is the return type? We have object as a return type. In the child class, what is the return type? We have string as a return type. When you have return types in such a way that if the parent class return type is also a parent and if the child class return type is also a child, always string class is child to object class. In the Java library, there is a string class which is a child to object class. Okay, when this is matching, even the return types are matching like parent as well as the child, this part is completely valid. This part is completely valid from Java 1.5. From Java 1.5, this is valid. So we are using Java 23 now. Okay, obviously it is valid. Okay, if you get a question like this, you should say, sir, till Java 1.4 is not valid. From Java 1.5, especially the moment you talk about the return type, this is object type and this is string type, you should do the validation. Return types are different. No issues. Even the return types are different. No issues. try to identify if the parent class return type is actually the parent. Okay, if the parent class is actually the parent, if the child class is return type is actually the child. In the Java library, the return type of the parent, okay, you can place return types in such a way that it should match the parent child relationship. Right, when I run this code, okay, I should not get any errors here. Okay, if I call here it's a color, right? Here it's a color. If I run this code, I should get something blank because nothing is displayed on the console. Or else if I create object for hero passion obj equal to new hero passion. Okay, when I call obj dot color method, right? Color method. Okay, it should return Java. Of course, the name of the method is color. It doesn't mean that the implementation is should be a color. Okay, implementation is Java. You can change this method accordingly, but we are just trying to understand whether this method get executed or this is getting executed. Okay, output is Java valid. We are getting an output valid. Okay, see, there is a violation here till Java 1.4, but from Java 1.5 it is valid. You can violate, but violation should be in such a way that the parent class return type should always be a parent. Object is parent to string. You cannot do this. You cannot do this vice versa. You cannot keep string here. Even though this two valid, because string valid. But you cannot keep string in the parent and object in the child. You will get error. See, you are getting an error. Now you will get an error. Right? The pattern is now pattern is getting changed. You are just reversing this. You are doing what? You are reversing this two. You are keeping string as a return type in the parent. You are keeping string as a return type in where? In the parent, right? And you are keeping object as a return type in the child. Okay. This is like in the reverse direction. In the reverse direction, you are keeping it. Okay. This is invalid. That's why we are getting an error here. Where we are getting an error here, if you see that the code is getting broken, so the red color incompatible type it says. But if you do the opposite, valid. String and object. This is the popular interview question. This is what popular interview question. Okay, it doesn't necessary that the return type should be same. Return type can be different, but it should follow the parent-child relationship. The topmost return type should always be a parent. The bottommost return type should always be a child. If that is the case, it is completely valid. Right? We will see a lot of examples. Trust me, you will be able to answer any kind of interview questions with the exam. Tomorrow, overloading concept will be completed, guys.